everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Games with ETHDenver Friends. Today we have a super special guest, so I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, Nash Foster. I'm the CEO of the of the SilverMint project. We're building a new layer 1 that's going to be super fast and cheap to use and have very secure, formally verifiable smart contracts and written in a language that's based on Go.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So, you ready to lose tonight?
Sure. I'm always ready to lose a Connect 4. I'm famously bad at this game.
Yeah. So, just for context, we have dealer's choice today between Jenga and Connect 4. He chose Connect 4. So, I think we'll probably end up doing best 2 out of 3. We'll talk while we're playing, and I guess blue or red?
Oh, red.
Red? All
yeah.
right. All right, I'll let you go first.
Oh, I get to go
Yeah.
first? All right. Take the middle, right?
Oh my god. Okay, so tell me, how long have you been working on this project?
Well, we started the company in 2016, but we began developing the consensus algorithm that became SilverMint in 2018.
Cool.
So that's five years almost.
And so for people that are new to the Web3 space, what are you building in a super easy to understand one-liner?
Yeah, it's basically like a much faster version of Ethereum that doesn't have all the security problems and isn't nearly as expensive.
And why would somebody need that?
Because Ethereum's expensive and slow.
Yeah.
And it gets hacked all the time. I mean, like who wants their bridge to get hacked because half of it's written in Solidity or something, right? Like that happens all the time. And, was the last one that this last summer somebody stole $400 million or $500 million.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. Nobody wants to be...
Sounds like a lot of money.
Yeah, it's bad news,
So, and were you a developer before this, or what's your background?
Yeah, I mean, developer and systems engineer. Worked at Google from 2006 to like 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So did a lot of large-scale systems engineering. Have done... I've been around since the 90s, so I've done a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But always typically on the engineering. I've been kind of entrepreneurial all my life, so this feels familiar.
Is this your first startup?
No, I've done like 5.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Anything successful, anything that we would have heard of?
No, I mean, mostly small stuff and sort of niche spaces.
Yeah.
We did a lot of, back in the early aughts, we did a lot of like consulting and systems engineering related to getting people, people were still just getting connected to the internet at that point, so we did a lot of that stuff. And that company just, they just turned 20, I think, recently. They're still going.
Wow.
Yeah, my co-founder is retiring soon, so, but they're a tiny little thing in Nashville, Tennessee, so nobody's ever heard of them.
And so what was the aha moment for this startup?
For, well, Mike and I both, we had gotten kind of bored of the corporate scene. So he was still working at Google and I was at Oracle at the time. And we were looking to try to build tools for developers to make large-scale software.
Yeah.
That didn't work out at all.
No.
There was no money in that.
Oh, no. I thought you were saying to
I
that. That's why we're doing best 2 out of 3.
Yeah, best.
All right, for the record, Lacey won. Wait, how do we... did you figure out how to take this out?
You just gotta yank it.
You gotta pull it out.
Yeah.
Oh, and then flip it back over. Oh, okay. This is a new fancy Connect 4. Okay, so the aha moment.
We started working for a colleague of Mike's that was doing a layer 1, and it just really fit our skill set. Mike has done cryptography for years and years, and I've done all the systems, network, and software engineering, and we just when we got together, it was like Wonder Twins activate, and so we just started having a ton of fun at it, and when you're having fun, why stop?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
how big is the team now?
I think we just hired our 20th person. So
it's big.
Yeah, I guess it feels small. Like when everybody's asking you like, oh, how do you compete against Aptos? And they have like 400 people or something. You're like, it's a totally different thing. But It's growing good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you venture backed or bootstrapped?
We raised $5 million last winter.
Okay.
So
2022.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we just started fundraising again. We're selling the validator slots on our network for launch. So
and for people that don't know what that means, what does that mean?
Yeah. So our network, if you want to run a validator node, there's only so many slots that we can support because it's our network is based on how much bandwidth is available. That's sort of what makes it super fast. And so we can support about 2,000 nodes on our main shard. Other shards that people build can have different numbers of nodes, but that's what the main one that we'll launch at the end of the year is going to have. And so we have to partition out, like, we want those 2,000 nodes to be distributed across the globe in a way that's going to actually make them, like, usable for people in whatever city you happen to live in. Like, we don't want them all. You know, like last year, ETH had this problem where like 90% of all the nodes on Ethereum were running in one data center. Right? It's like, that's not decentralization. Right? Yeah. So we don't want to have that problem. So we are selling the nodes so that when we sell them, people will know, all right, your node needs to run in Rome, or it needs to run in New York, or LA, or whatever, right?
So it's purely decentralized.
Shanghai. And that'll give it global distribution and decentralization, as well as we'll be able to control and make sure that, like, one org doesn't buy up, 50% of all the nodes, which would be terrible. So we can avoid that kind of problem.
Is that what you raised for? To be able to make that distribution happen?
Is that what we what?
Raised capital for?
Yeah, I mean, last year you mean?
Yeah.
We mostly raised money last year because we still hadn't developed the software fully. So we've been writing code all year. Yeah. And now we're ready to do some deploying stuff.
All right. So on that topic, who are you hiring?
We are hiring all kinds of persons. So the last software engineer we hired was a new grad right out of Utah Valley University. Yeah. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
He's great. Yeah, it's sometimes you find gems that are like right out of school. We've got open positions in marketing and social media is a big one for us right now.
Yeah,
people
yes. And that's when I go like this, and you'll see the open positions pop up right here. Social media is such an important part of building a Web3 company, especially if you're trying to educate people that aren't necessarily in the Web3 ecosystem already. Yeah,
which is our shtick, right? Like, I don't want to like have to compete with everybody for this tiny group of people who are already coming to ETHDenver, right? Like, I want to go to the green fields and like find people who've never done crypto and explain to them why their next project should use crypto. Yeah. Because I think they'll be more excited in a way, but there'll also be more, variety in projects that you can onboard at your ecosystem and that kind of thing. And there's way more of those guys. Yeah. So you have to have a way of like getting their attention.
So how does somebody go about applying to one of your jobs?
There's a form on our website, silvermint.net. I think it's silvermint.net/jobs.
Doing this again, where it pops up. And you have a ton of open roles right now across development, social media, others.
Yep, yeah, tons. Okay. We are always hiring good people. Yeah.
I think one big question that we often get from our community is, okay, I'm let's say a Web 2 developer, and I want to work for a company like yours. Sure. How do I go about obtaining those skills to be able to work for a company like yours?
See, that's the cool thing about us. We don't hire people because they have the skills we need. Yeah. We hire people who have the right attitude and the ability to learn. Yeah. And then we teach them whatever they need to know. Yeah. So I don't have any problem. Like I would much rather do that. I think it's your turn.
Is it my turn?
Yeah,
okay.
It is.
All right.
You're like slow rolling.
I know.
I'm up to you. I think I figured you out. So we hire great people, and then we'll teach them whatever they need to know, or put them in a position to learn it on their own. Yeah. Because I'd much rather, have people that come on and learn a ton, and then go on to do great things somewhere else, than try to find the one guy who's already got the skill set. Or, there's not enough of those.
I love that attitude. Companies like Unstoppable Domains, for instance, they have a great onboarding process for Web 2 individuals that are trying to make that career transition into Web 3, and they pride themselves in having this like onboarding process where it's a crash course on all things Web 3. And everything Web 3, and then like why Unstoppable is doing what they're doing and how that's making an impact in the space. And so it's great to see companies, again, like yours too, that are saying, hey, we'll take, anybody that's just super enthusiastic about the space, wants to learn, wants to apply crypto into everyday projects and companies, and, hey, there's a position here for you. And so, it's cool to see companies living by that ethos, because it makes it more open for anybody to come into the space, and that's at the end of the day the most important thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do we need to know about the hiring process for anybody that's listening? Just for context, also our audience is very job seekers that are looking to apply to companies like yours. What should they know maybe about your hiring process, or maybe let's start there, about your hiring process.
Our hiring process is pretty intense. We try really hard to only hire people who are going to be successful. So we, I would say the most important thing if you're going to apply for a job with us is make sure to go back and study your CS topics. Make sure you know a little bit about algorithms and data structures and that kind of stuff. So know what a tree is and tree traversal and things like that, because we will ask about that kind of thing in the interview. And other than that, it's just, our process is pretty straightforward. You do some telephone interviews, and then we fly you out and you spend a day with it. Nice. Yeah, every candidate, we want them to spend a day with our team. Okay. Right? Because if there's no other way to know whether you like somebody, basically, right? Like, you have to work with this person every day for a long time. You better like them, right? You better want them to be around. So we fly every candidate out to our office if they're remote, and if they're not remote, then obviously. And we pay relo and everything if you need to relocate.
That's great.
We try to make it work for people, so that they can come and join us. Utah has great skiing. Yeah. So if you ski, that's a bonus.
And then last two questions. First being, why should somebody come work for you?
Why should they work for me?
Yeah.
Because I'm so good at Connect 4.
It's a good thing we're doing this 2 out of 3. All right, we're not done here.
No, they should come work for us because we're so much fun. We've got a great environment and tons of great people. Well, we have 20 great people, in my opinion, or at least 19. I don't know if I'm so great, but it's a fun environment to work in. We're very, focused on
you first.
Letting people, develop their potential and work on the kinds of things that excite them, while also changing the world. We want, our vision is kind of in line with the crypto community as a whole. We want the, we want to change the world of finance. Yeah. Like, if you're not trying to change the world, man, what are you really doing?
So we're here at ETHDenver. Have you met with any potential applicants while being here, or what's the goal of being at this conference?
For us, we're trying to talk mostly at the moment to people who want to run nodes on the network, what we call node operators, and then investors who might be interested in investing money in our project so that we can extend our runway. I haven't personally met too many engineers yet. Yeah. I know they're around, but they all have jobs. Like the ones that I've met. I met a cool guy who's working on some ZK stuff last night. We talked for a while, but he's the CTO of a company already. He's got a job he likes. But ran into some guys who ended up talking about recruiting process. So that was kind of cool. Cool. Yeah, they're hiring too. So everybody's hiring, right?
Everybody's hiring developers right now.
Everybody's always hiring developers, Yeah. It's funny. My recruiting manager, when everybody got laid off at the end of last year from like Facebook and Google and everything, they were like, "It's gonna be time to hire these people," and I'm like, "Trust me, no great developers got fired."
Yeah.
It's not the way it worked.
Were you able to get any good candidates out of that?
No.
Really?
Not really, no.
Where do you recruit from? Do you recruit from Discord, LinkedIn, Indeed, Twitter?
LinkedIn, Indeed. Those are big ones. Yeah, we find a fair number of candidates there. In Utah, there's a local classified ad thing called KSL. So
classified ads.
Yeah, it's like a news station that does classifieds, and it's Utah's a time warp.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like moving back in time 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Just that idea. So LinkedIn, Indeed, hopefully some of your social brings in potential new applicants.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, from time to time it does.
I'm trying to figure out my next move. Hold on.
Yeah, you're killing me here. I have no moves.
I need
all
to
my
be
moves
on
are
the
defensive.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's when the questions.
That was.
I know.
That was
Did
not
I fuck
good.
up? Ah. Wait, hold on. No, well, I have to. Where are you? What do you see that I don't? Hold on. We are thinking.
Too hard about this.
I gotcha.
Did he get me?
Yeah.
Did I?
Wait, did he? Wait, don't tell him that you got me.
He does.
Well.
Champion!
Good game. This won't get posted, so there's no record. Just so you know. Sorry. Well, it was super awesome to have you on. Where do we find...
SilverMint.net.
SilverMint.net.
Yeah, that's us.
And then I'll drop the JDs to your open positions below in the description. And are you going to be at any upcoming conferences over the next few months?
There's one in Hong Kong in April, I think, that we're going to go to.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'll be my first trip to Asia. So
Nice.
that's going to be... I forget what it's called, though.
Yeah.
But we're going to be there.
Blockchain, something. NFT,
yeah.
something.
It's going to be huge, apparently. So we're going to be there. I don't know in the U.S. where we're going next.
Yeah.
But we'll be around.
Yeah. Well, if you're hiring, we're also at IWB, Miami NFT Week, Fest, and Bitcoin 2023. So maybe we'll see you there. We'll be pulling all the job seekers in. So
here's hoping.
Good opportunity to hire some good candidates.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in.